and welcome to the second in our series of A Coffee with Cafe. And I'm really excited to be sat here with the ever so talented makeup artist, Ophelia Lou. Welcome.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Clearly, right, you have some epic makeup skills. I just wondered really if you could talk a bit about, why you got into that. How many hours have you sat kind of perfecting looks and makeup and things like that?
So I actually did not start with makeup first. I wanted to be a fashion designer first. I mean, I think my mom knew that from very young because that's all I would draw is like figures with like dresses on and things like that.
Yeah.
Like I remember that because my mom has this massive table for like architect, right? Like massive table. And I would see these like pencil drawings that I had on that desk.
Wow.
And she wouldn't rub it off.
Yeah.
So that's when I was like, okay, let's be a fashion designer.
Yeah.
But I guess on the way, maybe like high school-ish, like that's when I kind of got into makeup.
Mm-hmm.
Probably through like fashion and music magazines as well. I was looking at all these like musicians, rock stars with makeup on. It's so cool.
Yeah.
So that's where I started. I just spent my little bit of lunch money on the cheapest eyeliner, cheapest eyeshadow palette, start doing makeup with myself, even though it's terrible, probably. But, we got to start somewhere.
Yeah.
And it just I just went down the rabbit hole. So,
and did you find it easy practicing makeup looks and stuff, or?
Did I find it easy? I don't find it super easy, but it's just kind of like painting. When you get a hold of it, you get a hold of it, and it becomes very therapeutic and fun to do.
Yeah.
And obviously, like at a certain point, you do makeup on your friends, things like that. I think that's very that's where I started.
So on to something I know is a little bit touchy, but I know that you obviously trained to be a tattooist and do the tattoos. Did you ever kind of actually get round to tattooing anyone, or?
So I wasn't even an apprentice.
Right. Okay.
I was just asking if I could learn.
Okay.
Hand poke tattoos.
Yeah.
So you're not even with the machine, only with like a needle.
Okay.
So I did tattoo some people, but only for a very short amount of time.
Yeah.
And I think that was one of the sort of things that I wanted to do when I was younger and I had the time.
Yeah.
But until my parents found out, that was it.
So that didn't go too well.
Yeah, that was it.
Yeah.
That was it. And then obviously my uni became a bit more serious and I just don't have the time in.
Yeah.
But it definitely helped me a lot with, what I had to do afterwards, which, comes down to drawing or sketching or just lines and bodies.
Yeah.
And etc.
So we've obviously discussed, we know you love to travel and that's kind of a big part of you. I believe your first tour was with the Lion King, is that right?
Yeah.
How was that?
I think that was great. It was very long.
Yeah.
It was at least 9 months, I believe.
Wow.
But it was in Asia, so that was great.
Yeah.
That was after COVID as well.
Oh, right. How was that? Because
I loved it. I gained like 4 kg within like 3 months or something.
Wow.
Because I just needed my good fix of Asian food.
Yeah.
In Korea.
Yeah. And how was the traveling? Obviously, being COVID and everyone's been locked away and masks on.
Yeah. I mean, we do have to go through the sort of like quarantine times in Korea, Taiwan. But that was great. I think it gives us a bit more time to sort of like get used to the environment, the time.
Yeah.
And the food.
Nice.
And be in your own space before we start working.
Yeah.
Obviously I was away for a long time, so I could only pack so much in my belongings.
Yeah.
So I only brought clothes that I know that I'm comfortable with wearing. Not too much because I know that I'm gonna go shopping.
Yeah.
So
you like to shop then?
I love shopping, especially I like to find things that are unique.
Yeah.
Things that you can't find anywhere. So yeah.
Yeah, I like styles like that as well. Yeah, makes you different when you come home, doesn't it?
Exactly. And you come back with all of these treasures that, you can't find here in London.
No. And also, as we've talked about, right, you don't want to conform to what everyone else looks like.
Yeah, exactly. Sometimes I find it very hard to buy clothes.
Yeah.
Especially now in London. I don't know why. I don't know if it's a season, but I just find it very hard to buy clothes.
Yeah. Would you ever make your own clothes?
I try, which is also why when I see jewelries out there and I feel like I can remake it, then I'll just make it myself.
Yeah.
If I feel like I like a certain type of print or something, then I would just draw it myself and try and remake it myself.
Yeah.
Not to copy, obviously, but, there has to be a reason why I didn't buy that piece of clothing, because it wasn't good enough for me. I'm not saying that what I make is good enough, but maybe is it worth it with the price? Maybe not. So I'd rather
make it
myself.
Because you have a fashion label, don't you? 18 levels off.
I do.
Yeah.
But it's kind of taking a back seat at the moment.
Right. Okay. And was that selling to people, or was that
I was selling to people.
Okay.
That was fun to do, especially that came about when it was COVID and we're not allowed to work as makeup artists.
Yeah.
So I was struggling.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's great to have another set of skills that you can rely on.
Yeah.
When something doesn't work out. So that was one of the things that I managed.
Do you reckon you'd go back to it one day? Or?
I definitely would go back to it one day, but I would want the products to be at a certain level.
Okay.
Rather than, me having to do it at home with just on my own.
Yeah.
And that could get a bit stressful. Yeah. So, that's to be planned later on. Not right now.
Not right now, no. Yeah. Focus on makeup. So just going kind of back to the travel, obviously, as we said, right, you've done a lot of it. You go on tour, you obviously travel personally and things. If you could give someone who travels a lot for work, maybe in your industry, they might just be starting out, what would kind of like be the top 2 or 3 tips you'd give them for, when they're obviously traveling?
I have a huge collection of perfumes. Yeah. You know how the bottles are very heavy. Mm-hmm. You just have to make the decision. Yeah, you just have to make the decision to put them into tiny little ugly bottles and just only take them with you, because you don't want to overpack yourself and struggle everywhere you travel. And
I suppose space is precious, really, isn't it, when you're traveling, especially on tour?
Yeah, it's just heavy. Like when I think about the weight, it's not pretty.
No.
What other things? I think when it comes to makeup kit, it really depends on what you're capable of. If you can carry heavier things, and go ahead, you can bring more. Mm-hmm. But I can't.
Yeah.
Like I am a scrawny Asian girl. I can't carry a lot. I try to, but it's always good to know what case works best for you, what size works best for you, and pack your kit according to that size.
Yeah.
Rather than buying a case that's too big and overpacking. I'd rather you have a small size than a big one.
Yeah.
If you know you can't carry 32 kg.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is my naivety, really, I suppose. But do you have, so of all the looks that you do, and obviously there's, they're quite vast in terms of depending on who you're working with, etc. But are there kind of staple makeups that you use, and then kind of dependent on whether you're going to do like the Lion King, right, really elaborate, or you're going to do something a bit more state, then you add on top, or is every look different? So when you're packing the kit, do you have like staple foundations, mascara, etc., or do you have to pack lots of versions of those?
Yeah, I do have options in my kit.
Yeah.
And it's better to have options than no options at all.
Yeah.
We all know that when it comes to, let's say, foundation, we have different finishes, different weights, and obviously some people can take heavier foundation, some people can't. So you need skin tint, full coverage foundation, glowy foundation, these type of, different kinds of foundation finishes. And same as eyeliner, I guess you get different colors, different type of uses. Some is great for blending, some just dries really quick, etc. Again, lipsticks. That's a difficult one. Like, I hate packing my lipsticks because you just want everything in your kit and it looks so pretty. Yeah. But you need to think, okay, I know I can mix colors. So you don't need to bring your whole collection. Like your reds, you don't need 10 shades of reds, you know? So yeah, you do need choices, but you also need to remember you can mix. You can mix things. Yeah.
So where's the best place you've traveled to so far for work?
For work, I think everywhere has its own charm. And I was on tour with Bambi Thug, and I wake up in a different country every other day.
Wow.
I think that's very exciting.
Yeah.
I can't believe I did that. Like, that was fun.
Yeah.
And you wake up every day having to speak a different language.
Wow. Do you speak lots of languages?
No. But you learn and you try. You want to figure out within the time while you're traveling. So yeah.
Is there anywhere you'd love to travel for work? Like any brand that you'd like to work with abroad? Or
I don't actually have thought about who I would want to work with, because I want things to surprise me in a way. Because I feel like if I were to make a list of people that I want to work for, it's always going to be the same thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like, I want people to see a potential in me, be like, oh, we could create something new. Yeah. Because we're so different.
So tell me about Paris Fashion Week. So how did that come about? Who were you working for there?
I think for Paris Fashion Week, I only went there because there are shows to do and also, a few clients.
Yeah.
But now I am doing clients more often than shows. And the only reason why is because, I start to build my what they call it, client base.
Yeah.
I decided to build that. And for shows, I only do it when, let's say, I have a free day off. I do enjoy doing shows.
Yeah.
It does take the whole day. It's great to work as a team, and with designers, you get to see how crazy backstage is. Yeah. It's exciting. And it's an experience.
So with the clients, is it more kind of brand content work that you're doing, or is it?
So the clients are either people who are attending shows as guests or buyers or VIPs that are flown from Asia to Paris to go to a show. Yeah. For big brands like Dior. What else is there? Chanel. Yeah. And brands like that. Balenciaga. I mean, there's also like the CEO of a certain brand. That was great. Knowing that, someone that high up do appreciate your work, and especially when it's not a piece of work that you're known for. Yeah. It's basically like very simple glam, and they like it. So, yeah.
What we see that you do kind of in your Instagram posts and things, and what you do with kind of Bambi Thug and that on tour versus kind of what I guess you were doing at Paris Fashion Week. Where do you sit in that? I suppose your preference.
I won't probably ever feel like settling within one sector. Like, I imagine me doing one style for the rest of my life.
You would get bored very easily.
Yeah. So I really like the sort of dynamic of going crazy for a few months and then going a bit, like beauty for a few weeks. I don't mind that. Oh, I love it actually. And people, I think it's great to know more than only know one thing.
You and I met through a client.
Yeah.
Very exciting. And we've obviously done a few things together. And that was obviously for an aesthetics client who saw your talent in very much a different way for them. So obviously was more about kind of showcasing what's under the skin, but on top of the skin. How did you find that? You know, was that kind of something you thought you might like to do? Was that surprising? Yeah.
I think that's a very exciting and surprising approach to promoting aesthetic products. Yeah, or I should call them.
Yeah.
I think it's very fresh and new approach just because not only you are looking at a piece of work, not through screen, but in real life.
Yeah.
At expo, in front of so many people walking around, and there's actually interactions and things like that. I think it's better to. Sometimes it's good to be put on the spotlight rather than just working backstage, because I feel like people should see how everything goes about creating even just a painting. You'd like to watch someone paint, right?
Yeah.
And it was great because they also took me to several places. We went to Monaco, we went to New York, we went to London, and I enjoyed every single second of it. It wasn't too stressed. Everyone was really nice, and
as you say, it was, you know, it was a real fresh take, as we all thought, right, at the expos and things. You know, no one else was kind of thinking of bringing those two worlds together, really, were they? Is that stuff you'd like to do more of, or?
Oh, I absolutely love it, because I've never even thought about working for an aesthetic brand. Because when you ask a makeup artist, so like, what kind of brands are you interested in working with? It's always going to be makeup brands, fashion brands, or I don't know, I like celebrities, I guess. Which is cool. But when you branch out into other industries, it becomes more exciting, and it kind of makes your brain starts working. Okay, how can I use makeup as a tool to catch people's attention, especially when you're on a stand? People won't expect that, and that's why people would come to you, because they're like, "Oh, what you doing? That's not a needle. That's a brush."
And the thing is, it was very successful, right, as we know, and we know that they loved you as well. So I mean, it was
fun.
It worked really well. So obviously, you want to blow up. What's the good and bad that's come from that?
I think glow up definitely put me at a stage that I could show what I can do in the mainstream media. And that's given me quite good feedback so far. And
I suppose you've also done so much more, right? You know, you're 6 years or plus over from that.
It's been so long since Glow Up, and I've definitely done more than what I did at Glow Up. I think Glow Up was kind of like the best thing at that time, but it's not anymore. And it shouldn't be anymore, because I need to grow. I need to be somewhere. I need to know that I am building something that will last. And not just for that season.
What would you say are your favourite bits of your career so far? So,
I think definitely going on tour. I think I enjoyed Lion King because I could go back to Asia after COVID. I also really enjoy touring with Bambi Thug, because not only do I enjoy the traveling, there's also this new experience of being on a tour bus. I also enjoy the music, so I get to listen to a lot of music after I work. And it's a great team.
So obviously, you know, you have a massive love of Halloween. So where did that come from?
I think that's the only time that I get to play dress up. The only other time is probably in school, having to wear a school uniform. And play Catholic, you know. And outside of school, there wasn't anything that's exciting, and I've always been in a very restrictive family where I don't get to, you know, look pretty in a way or look like myself. So Halloween is the only time that I'm allowed to put makeup on, that I'm allowed to just do a little bit something different for myself. So also, I always have the best time at Ocean Park in Hong Kong whenever they have a Halloween event going on throughout the whole month. I would make sure that I at least go twice a year.
Wow.
And it was...
And they do it for the whole, like literally the
They
whole
do
month.
it for the whole month.
Right.
Yeah, it was so much fun. It was, the park would open till like, I think 1 a.m. Oh my God. And you get to go to so many haunted houses and everyone's dressed up. The production hires people from, I don't know, like Universal Studio Singapore, for makeup artists.
Yeah.
All the way to Hong Kong to do the actors' makeup.
Yeah.
Great costumes. I don't know, it just felt very well put together.
Where did your inspiration come from for the tailor look that you've done?
Oh, that's very interesting. I was actually revisiting a short stop motion film produced by the Quay brothers. There was a certain scene where these little puppets were sort of doing tailoring.
Yeah.
And obviously everything was in a much more miniature size, and they were using pins and also paper over something that looks like a liver.
Wow. Okay.
In the short film, but obviously for the texture it was great, visually. And so I just kind of took inspiration from that. I was like, you know what, I'm gonna use that as the makeup look. So I just became a tailor for Halloween.
That's amazing that you can do stuff like that. I love that. And lastly, what would you have done if you hadn't been a makeup artist or gone down the fashion designer route?
I think I would have spent more time in biology and maybe become a forensic scientist.
Wow. So you really do have that kind of desire to kind of work with body parts or, things like that.
Yes, I think
That's
the only
amazing.
reason why I feel like I can do it because I feel like I have the mind to question certain questions without thinking whether it's controversial or something like that.
Yeah.
That I wouldn't look at, something that is quite natural and be too squeamish about it.
Yeah. And you're very inquisitive.
Yeah, and I like to dig for answers.
Yeah.
And
I love
given the fact that I still have to be quite precise with my artistic work,
Yeah, of course.
that it could translate pretty well with knives.
Well, you never know, right?
Yeah,
You may be,
yes,
you might be a forensic scientist one day.
One day. If this job fails, then I can go.
You know where you're going.
Yes.
So, what do you think is next for Ophelia Lou?
At the end of the day, I am still a creator. I'm a creative. I don't think my work only solely lies in makeup, and I want to explore even more opportunities, even if it means owning a brand, having a whole entire identity into business, etc. Like, I still enjoy creating content. I think that's something very fun to do, and I'm still enjoying doing on my Instagram and TikTok page.
Yeah.
Obviously I mentioned the makeup designer aspect of it. I think that would be really fun for me to come up with a production with my makeup designs.
Yeah.
Or maybe even my vision, I don't know. But anything could be possible because I'm a creative.
Thank you so much for your time. It's been an absolute pleasure talking with you, learning more about you, and I'm so excited to see what you do next.
Oh, thank you so much for having me.